Hello, I'm Lizzie and this is Lizzie Reads, and welcome to my first sit down video in a while. It's an unhaul. So yeah, I've not been doing a lot of sit down videos recently, not even TBRs, wrap ups, no sort of bulking books together per theme. It's been a lot of reading vlogs. Basically, I was just looking at my shelves and I thought, do you know what, I want to get rid of a couple of books, and I thought, as it's been a while since I've done this sort of video, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to talk to you about some of the books that I'm going to get rid of. I'm only getting rid of red books at this moment in time. I just want to clear up a bit of space on these shelves, because now I've got the shelves, and I'll link the sort of part one of the putting the bookshelves together down below. But since I've been got my shelves and I'm really excited about my shelves, it's making me realise how certain books, I just don't care for them being here. I want books that are here to be ones that I really love and want to talk about, etc. So let's get into it. Basically, what I'm going to do is just sit here with my coffee and have a little look through the shelves and see how many I can get off. What I might do is quickly set myself a little 5-minute timer and see how many books I can get off in that time. I don't think it's going to be very difficult to, honestly, I think I'm going to have like 10 plus, I think. So yeah, let's give it a go. It's going to be quick when I'm done. So in that 5 minutes, I stacked up quite a few books. I've actually got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 here that I picked off in that 5 minutes. Really easy. A lot of them I'd already thought about getting rid of. But I also have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books that I considered already, that were already in the purgatory pile down here, which I've decided to get rid of as well. So that's a total of 18 books. And then I'm going to talk through some of the books that I considered getting rid of. I considered getting rid of my Arc of the Scythe series by Neil Shusterman. Sorry, my brain not working today. I considered getting rid of it, but I haven't read the last one, and I think I might refresh my memory on the first two and see if I can get the last one like Scribd, and if I liked it, then get the last one in paperback, blah blah blah. I considered getting rid of a couple of Cecilia Ahern's books because although I loved those books a lot when I was a teenager, the ones that I've actually got physically aren't the ones that I have the fondest memories of. Like, they were fine, they were really good, but not my favourites. But I decided to keep them for now. And there's a couple of proofs here that I read and were good and great, and I was just going to pass on to colleagues and other people who would receive proofs, but these books I'm looking at are ones I'm going to sell on Vinted. So I'll leave my Vinted down below in case any of these take your fancy. They're all going to be super cheap, literally just to get them rid of them. So let's go into the books that I didn't pick off in this section and the reasons why I'm getting rid of them. First of all, we've got Angela Carter, The Bloody Chamber and Other Stories. This is a short story collection. Angela Carter, very, very famous author, and has lots of feminist themes and fairy tales and fairy tale themes in her writing. Excellent writing. Didn't strike a chord with me in particular. Like some of the other books that I read for uni, this was one that I just felt like I should love because it's so popular. Not really my sort of thing. I'm never going to read it again. Well, I don't have any intent to read it again. It's just taking up space just to make me look clever. So that's going. Next we have another series I really debated, and this is the Southern Reach trilogy by Jeff Vandermeer. So I got these beautiful covers just before I went to uni. They're a little bit sun damaged. They're not super in the worst condition, but they're not in the best condition. I did like this series, but a lot of it went over my head, and that's put me off reading it. Since I've seen the film since reading this, and the film was very different, got similar vibe, and I liked it. I just think this style of writing and sci-fi isn't really my sort of thing. I think I'm just going to get rid of it. Yeah, I'm just going to get rid of it. And then if I ever want to read them again, I can get them again, or like borrow them, Kindle them again. I just look at them and think, oh, I was too stupid to read those, so they've got to go. Next we've got How to Stop Part-Time by Matt Haig, which I liked. It's very good, but didn't leave like a lasting impression. No fave. Just I couldn't even. I think it's about a man who time travels and falls in love, I think. And then we've got Big Bones by Laura Dockrill, which is a fantastic YA story about a plus size girl, and she's sort of being forced to write a food diary to sort of confront her size, and it's just about her journey through that. It was a really lovely story, really poignant, really beautiful. If I remember correctly, I read it quite a few years ago. Not one I'll read again, and I think someone else could get the benefit of it. So those are all the books that I'd already considered getting rid of. So let's get into the ones that I pulled off in my 5 minutes. First of all, we have Oscar Wilde, Only Dull People Are Brilliant at Breakfast. And this is one of the Penguin classics, little back classics. I bought it in Ireland for 50p, £1.50. I bought it in Dublin. And although I love it because I bought it in Dublin, blah, 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 that Oscar Wilde, whatever. It's just okay. It's not my sort of thing. I can't keep it for a keepsake, because I don't look at it and remember my holiday. I remember where I bought it. I do have a little book of pocket Irish poetry which I bought when I was in Dublin. So, I mean, I've got that and I remember that. And also I read Normal People while I was in Dublin, so I'll just fondly remember reading Normal People and being basic. Then we have 2 of the Penguin Modern classics, the little green editions that are just not my thing anymore. I thought they were my thing for a while, but they're really not. Letter from Birmingham Jail by Martin Luther King Jr., which was fantastic. Really enjoyed reading it, but probably won't ever read it again. And I don't know, I don't tend to consume small forms of this type of fiction anymore. I prefer like longer form non-fiction or podcasts and just reading articles about things like that instead. And then we have The Breakthrough by Daphne du Maurier. I love Daphne du Maurier. Rebecca is one of the most atmospheric, beautiful books I've ever read in my life. That is right here. But this was just okay. It took me, it's too short, not the sort of thing I was getting into. Then we have A Series of Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket, The Bad Beginning. I've had this for a really, really, really long time. I really wanted to keep it and love this. I love that it's a little hardback. It's really, really cute. I loved it, and I really liked the first couple. Read them all, finished them all last year, and hated the ending of the series. So yeah, I'm just going to get rid of this because I remember that and not really enjoying it that much. And then I have Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, another classic I forced myself to read because I thought that made me smarter than it did. It was okay. As far as classic goes, the characters are really fucking annoying. Not my vibe at all. I'm just Pride and Prejudice gal at heart. Next we have The Rental Heart by Kirsty Logan, and this I heard really, really good things about. I love, one of my favourite books of all time is a short story collection by Caris Bray, which is up here because it's one of my favourites. It's called Sweet Home. It really inspired so much of my writing at university, and yeah, amazing. I really want to read it again soon. But The Rental Heart is something I bought inspired of that. I heard it was similar. It just didn't hit me in the same way. It was good, but I'm never going to read it again. Next we have Josh Malerman. It is by Josh Malerman, but it's Bird Box by Josh Malerman. I read Bird Box quite a few years ago. It's before it was on Netflix. I think it was coming out on Netflix. I'm not sure. I read it when I was at uni, and I enjoyed it. The story's really good. The movie's really good. But I'm never going to read it again. I know what happens. Yeah, just not something I'm going to read again. And next we have Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie's Purple Hibiscus. This is a really complex one for me because I actually really love this book. I thought it was fantastic. I gave it 5 stars. And I really want to keep it, but every time I look at it now, it is ruined by the fact that Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie is a TERF and is often defending JKR on socials, and that puts a dampener on the oh, there's a bookmark in there, I don't want to get rid of that, puts a dampener on the feminism and the just everything else that is in here that I thought was so beautiful. I read it quite a few years ago, but I really loved it. It's a shame, but every time I look at it, it's dampened now. It's a very similar situation for We Should All Be Feminists by the same author, which is her TED Talk, and this book really was given to me at a time when I felt like I was lacking feminism. No, like I feel like I was quite young when I read this, and it really changed my outlook on feminism and some of the basic standards, and I loved it. I loved that it was used, like Beyonce used the TED Talk in Flawless. I loved that so much. I thought it was excellent. The only reason I'm still keeping this is because it has a really nice message inside, and that's really important to me, so I'm going to just preserve it in another way, I think, and take it out potentially. But yeah, so I'm just keeping that, but it's a shame. So I just don't want to keep it because I'm not going to read any of their other books, which I was going to, but I won't be now, I don't think. Next we have Ghost Wall by Sarah Moss, which I loved. I really like Sarah Moss. Sarah Moss has written some excellent work. Not really my thing anymore at the moment. I'm not really reading literary fiction or anything very speculative. I liked this though. I really liked this, and I'm glad I read it, but I'm not going to read it again, and it doesn't reflect me as a reader anymore. So I think pass on someone else. Next we have Undead Girl Gang by Lily Anderson, and the reason I'm getting rid of this is because I'm never going to read it again, and it wasn't a fave. It was nice, a nice like book about teenage witches, YA, very good. Yeah. Next we have Tilly Walden's Are You Listening? This is a graphic novel I bought. I was really excited to read. However, I felt that this was not what I sort of expected from it. It was very much I didn't realise it was going to be the sort of story that it was. It's exploring like coming out as LGBT. I can't remember where the main character sits on the spectrum, unfortunately. But I recall and it just gets a bit weird, a bit magical, and I just wasn't expecting that, and it was okay, but just not as good as I expected. And last we have Vox by Christina Doucher, and this is a dystopian book about a world in which women are only allowed to speak 100 words a day. Is this that one? Yeah, 100 words a day. Any more and 1,000 volts of electricity will course through her veins. Very interesting. I like Christina Doucher has done this a couple of times. She did, was it Q? I've read 2 of their novels, and they're like very sort of feminist dystopian, interesting stories, interesting concepts. I like an interesting concept that really draws me into a book, but just not something I'll read again. And I actually read most of it on audio, so I don't even have particular attachments to this book. I read it on holiday, and it was good holiday read, thought-provoking, interesting, as expected. But yeah, so I'm going to be unhauling all of these books. It doesn't make too much space, but there's a little bit of space extra here that could be used for something that's a little bit more my taste at the moment. I imagine in a few years' time, when I'm over the romance, all the romance books that I am filling these gaps with will probably be unhauled. But it's nice that I want to move to where my bookshelves really reflect who I am as a reader. Not necessarily erasing the history that sort of brought me to there, because obviously there are a lot of these books I've read and did enjoy, But if they're not particularly special to me or don't have anything like I really resonate and I really want to look at them again, or I know that I want to reread them again, then there's no point me keeping them. I don't have anyone to lend them out to. Otherwise I would have done that, but it's not. I'm trying to move away from collecting every book I've ever owned. As nice as that would be, I've read, as nice as that would be, I just don't think I'm there yet. I will probably unhaul some more books that are proof copies, because I'm going to be selling these books, but you can't sell proof copies. Yeah, hopefully I'll see you again soon. Thank you so much for watching this video.